Britain is building something it has never built before. The original budget, £20 billion. The current one, possibly £100 billion.
I'm standing where Britain's longest rail bridge just came together. It took 4 years to build this one structure.
We can't proceed with the current plan. Manchester is compromised, and Leeds. We have to cross them both out.
This changes everything.
And Britain is spending more building that than any other country has ever spent on any railway, ever.
$416 million per mile. That is the cost of HS2.
So how did the world's most expensive railway become the world's biggest construction disaster?
It started in 2009. Britain's railways were full.
The West Coast Main Line carried 100% of its capacity. There was no room to grow. So engineers proposed HS2, a brand new high-speed Y-shaped network.
Phase 1, London to Birmingham. Phase 2, Birmingham to Manchester and Leeds. Total distance, 340 miles.
In 2012, the government approved Phase 1 at £20.5 billion. Everyone thought it was manageable.
The engineering problem nobody talked about. Britain is the most densely built country in Europe.
Under almost every field they dug, something was waiting. Roman roads, medieval villages, plague graves.
The Black Death wiped out entire villages. HS2 kept finding them.
Then there were the unexploded bombs. World War II ordnance still live, buried in the path of the railway.
Every delay costs money, and in Britain, delays are guaranteed. Planning, protests, redesigns. HS2 had all three simultaneously.
Protesters occupied trees. Some lived in tunnels under the route for months.
700-year-old woodland came down. Campaigners called it irreversible. HS2 called it unavoidable.
By 2019, the costs had already jumped to £56 billion before a single passenger train had moved.
They kept building. The contracts were signed. Too much money was already spent. Then COVID hit. Construction froze for months. The budget absorbed the hit and kept climbing.
As you can see behind me, the new canteen facility is already proving popular with a diverse workforce enjoying their lunch break in this modern environment.
£2.2 billion already spent on Phase 2. Scrapped. The earthworks sat empty.
In March 2025, HS2's own CEO wrote to the Transport Secretary. He used the words litany of failure.
But here is the part the news missed. The engineering underneath this disaster is extraordinary.
Meet Florence and Cecilia, two 2,000-ton tunnel boring machines built in Germany by Herrenknecht. Florence ate 3 million cubic meters of chalk over 3 years. Every scrap was pumped to the surface as slurry.
That chalk slurry was then spread across 90 hectares of hillside, creating brand new wildlife habitat in the Chilterns.
As the TBM moved forward, it placed 112,000 precision concrete segments behind it, building the tunnel wall as it went. Every single segment was cast on-site at the Chiltern Hills, a purpose-built factory producing 49 segments per day.
Standing inside the Chiltern Tunnel is like being in a different world. It took 3 years to bore this 10-mile corridor.
While Florence was underground, above ground, something just as remarkable was happening.
The Colne Valley Viaduct, crossing 2 lakes and the M25 motorway.
In September 2024, the final segment was lowered into place.
Look at the sensor readings here at the 10-meter mark. Yeah, I see the spike. There's a hairline fracture right here. We need to log that immediately.
Meanwhile, in London, the Northolt Tunnel. 8.4 miles of twin-bore tunnel under West London's homes.
4 TBMs were needed for this stretch alone. Sushila, Caroline, Ada, Beth. all named after pioneering women.
Under London, the ground is different. Clay, gravel, water pressure. The machines had to be redesigned.
Every building above the Northolt Tunnel was monitored in real time.
Lifting Sushila out of the ground weighed 2,050 tons. They used a special gantry crane purpose-built for the extraction.
In Birmingham, the Bromford Tunnel. TBM's Mary Ann and Elizabeth boring through North Warwickshire towards the city.
They run these machines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The moment the machine stops is the moment it gets expensive.
TBM Elizabeth finished her Bromford drive in October 2025. Mary Ann finished in May 2025, both on schedule.
In total, 65 miles of tunnel, 130 bridges, 50,000 concrete tunnel segments. Curzon Street will be Birmingham's first new mainline terminus in 150 years.
The station is designed to handle 6 high-speed trains simultaneously, 18 trains per hour at peak.
Old Oak Common, HS2's London gateway, being built underground under an active railway depot.
Then there's the Bat Tunnel, a £128 million structure built to protect bats from the noise of passing trains.
HS2 builders say there is no scientific evidence bats are disturbed by trains. They built it anyway.
105 million cubic meters of earth have been moved. That's 42 Great Pyramids of Giza.
Some sections of the route were too soft for tracks. Workers had to stabilize the ground, injecting concrete grout deep into the earth.
Every slope they cut green, they replanted. Over 7 million trees and plants have been put back along the route.
The Long Itchington Wood Tunnel is a green tunnel, built open, then covered with soil, then replanted above.
The pressure readings on the gauge are stable, but we're seeing increased wear on the outer cutters here.
Let's cross-reference that with the geological data from the last shift.
The railway needs a signalling system that doesn't exist yet anywhere in Britain. Engineers are building it from the ground up.
At 320 kilometers per hour, the overhead wire must stay within 70 millimeters of perfect alignment.
HS2 trains will be 400 meters long, 1,100 passengers per train.
HS2 uses concrete slab track. No gravel, no movement, permanent precision.
Slab track costs twice as much to install, but lasts 60 years without significant maintenance.
In 2025, HS2 made a decision. Prioritize 50 miles of the route for testing first.
Mark Wildey's plan. Test the railway while construction continues on the rest. Move.
The railway itself is being built properly. It's everything around it that went wrong.
At its peak, 34,000 people are working on HS2. More workers than built the Channel Tunnel.
300 apprentices have been trained. The project has intentionally...
Every chalk stream along the Rue has an individual protection plan. The water table is monitored 24/7.
HS2 became the first UK transport client to receive PAS 2080 carbon management certification.
In 2025, CEO Mark Wild made a decision. Fundamental reset. New schedule, new cost controls.
The reset is real. The 50-mile test zone is now the top priority. Get one section ready.
The Northolt Tunnel is 93% complete. London will have a brand new underground corridor that no tube line uses.
The station canopy alone uses 5,000 tons of structural steel, more than the Eiffel Tower. Slab track installation is slow, 20 meters per shift. But once laid, it will not need replacing for 60 years.
At 360 kilometers per hour, horizontal alignment must be accurate to 1 millimeter over every 100 meters.
The overhead wire must be strung at exactly 5.3 meters above the rail. They check it with lasers.
The trains are being built simultaneously with the route. Hitachi and Alstom are building 54 train sets right now.
The target is to run the first test train before the decade is out. Just proof the railway works.
Along the route, 7 million plants have been put back.
140 miles of the most complex construction Britain has ever attempted. Mid-2030s.
London to Birmingham by car, 2 hours. On HS2, 45 minutes. HS2 will be 18 trains per hour.
Old Oak Common will connect HS2 directly to Heathrow, Crossrail and the Great Western Main Line, all underground.
The 14.5 mile Euston Tunnel hasn't started yet. It's the final piece, connecting Old Oak Common to Euston.
The ventilation headhouses above the Chiltern Tunnel were designed to look like Chiltern Barns.
And slowly, a railway is taking shape. Not the one they promised in 2009, but a railway nonetheless. When it's done, this will be one of the greatest pieces of civil engineering ever built in Britain. Every person working on HS2 knows the budget stories. They go to work anyway, because someone has to build it.
£100 billion. That may be the final cost, spread over 30 years.
When HS2 opens, Birmingham is 45 minutes from London. Manchester remains connected via the Classy network.
The project that started with the promise of connecting Britain became the story of how hard it is to build anything in Britain.
Britain's most expensive railway. Britain's most controversial project.
And undeniably, Britain's most impressive construction.
The first test run confirms the engineering logic. It works.
Isn't it incredible? These trusses support the entire structure, letting the sunlight pour in.
We have full activation. Yes! We did it! Look at her glow!